1-inch Elder Mo Jingshan has returned empty-handed, and Elder Kui has come personally. However, I have never seen the person you mentioned before. Jade Fairy's eyes were slightly lowered and her tone was as calm as usual, without the slightest ripple. Jade Fairy, stop pretending here. There are many halls here. Other than you, there are also array formations set up outside the other halls. It is impossible for them to enter. Tell me, where will they hide? Kui Yu's eyes focused. Anger emerged on his old face as he scolded loudly. Elder Kui, you are so mighty. Jade Fairy coldly harumphed when she heard him. She did not have the slightest intention of retreating. As an elder with a high position in the Deacon sect, you have no idea what happened to the people who invaded the Deacon sect. You have come here to make a fuss just based on your speculation. Not bad. I have been imprisoned here for several years for the Battle of the Saints. Now that the thief has disappeared, I have to share your worries. What is the use of the left sect master? After being robbed by Jade Fairy, Kui Yu was at a loss for words. After a moment of silence, he glared at Jade Fairy and began to search the hall. The latter's pretty face was cold. She did not even look at Kui Yu and allowed him to search for her. This is no small matter. The thief has killed Elder Chang Yi. Even Lu Junyuan of the Heavenly Gone sect might be affected. If it involves you, I'm afraid even the left sect master won't be able to protect you. Kui Yu shook his head as his search was fruitless. As he spoke, he left without looking back. When Kui Yu left, Jade Fairy was in a trance. Her heart was filled with emotion and an inexplicable feeling. Chang Yi was killed. He already has this kind of strength? But, well done, ... In the next 2 days, the entire Deacon sect had fallen into a strange and unusual situation. All the elders in the sect started to move, and countless elite disciples stopped what they were doing and started to search the area between the mountains and trees of the Deacon sect. The commotion caused many unknown outer sect disciples to feel deeply surprised. In the past 2 days, they hadn't found any trace of Profound Emperor and Xiao Yan. This had also caused Kui Yu to become extremely furious, and he was almost certain of it. The disappearance of Xiao Yan had a lot to do with Jade Fairy, but she refused to admit it. It wasn't easy to find him, but the elders had been monitoring him day and night. As long as Xiao Yan showed himself, they would take him down immediately. This clue wasn't urgent for the time being. He didn't believe it. Jade Fairy would cover him up for the rest of his life. Profound Emperor's slow search had also made him deeply anxious. If a monarch cultivation sovereign with ill intentions was set on killing someone, who knew how many elite disciples would be killed without anyone knowing? Therefore, he could only increase the search intensity. The entire Deacon sect searched inch by inch like a carpet. If we can't even find a thief hiding in the sect, what face do we have to call the #1 sect in Mingan Divine Domain? Kui Yu crushed the jade pearl he used to collect information with a loud bang. His expression was gloomy. He wished he could barge into Jade Fairy's main hall and grab her neck so that she could hand Xiao Yan over to him. The enemy is in the dark and I am in the light. If he wants to hide, the Deacon sect has a vast territory. We won't be able to find him even if we search for him for half a year. On the side, Mrs. Huang gently shook her head with her snake-headed walking stick. A trace of anger flashed across her eyes. If she had known this would happen, she would have killed him during the ceremony. This would be considered as missing a root of trouble, and Chang Yu wouldn't have died. Now that she thought about it, when Lu Junyuan was about to kill Xiao Yan, the golden figure that suddenly appeared and saved Xiao Yan was most likely the mastermind behind the invasion of Deacon sect. If he doesn't come out, we will force him to come out. After a moment of silence, Kui Yu sneered. Tell all the elders and disciples to stop searching. Tell them that Xiao Yan has been handed over by Jade Fairy and will be executed in Holy Yin Hall in a few days. Xiao Yan's name was the first thing that Mrs. Huang remembered when she saw his face. She had a deep impression of Xiao Yan. What if Jade Fairy knows about this? Mrs. Huang frowned when she heard this. She was very clear about Jade Fairy's temper. If she knew about it, she was afraid that it would attract the latter's anger. So what if I know? Xiao Yan is very likely to be protected by her. This bastard didn't put the Deacon sect in his eyes at all. Furthermore, the details of how he defeated Ling Longzi. Until now, he hadn't said a single word. He should have reported this matter to the sect chief and interrogated her. Kui Yu's expression was cold as he gazed into the distance, his eyes revealing a cold expression. Got it. Mrs. Huang nodded and did not say anything else. She turned around and left. With Kui Yu's instruction, she had nothing to worry about. In front of him, a black tortoise that could cover the entire sky was looking down from above. Its chi was astonishing, and it had an unparalleled defensive power. In Xiao Yan's senses, it was as if it was facing a huge mountain that could support the sky, a place where it didn't attack at all. It took nearly a day's time to break all the bones in its body. Only then did it scatter the green dragon. Now, the spirit of Heart Flame had once again displayed the profound martial arts. It was as if it had summoned the true form of the black tortoise, and its might shook the heavens and the earth. The situation was circulating crazily, reconstructing the broken bones. Xiao Yan's lips were cracked, and his chi was no longer as vigorous as before. In front of the black tortoise, he had used all of his techniques, but none of them could cause any damage to it. Now, he finally understood the difficulty of breaking through to the monarch cultivation. If he wanted to defeat the little me of the past, he would have to experience all of the techniques he had practiced. The Four-Spirit Emperor technique was a technique that he specialized in. After that, there were yin scrolls, secret arts, and so on and so forth. It was extraordinarily difficult to withstand it. Taking a deep breath, Xiao Yan clenched his fist once more. His eyes lit up, and he once again charged at the black tortoise. Behind him, the white tiger, which had become much stronger, followed closely, piercing through the heaven and earth. In the back mountain of Btth sect, there were continuous mountain ranges. As the sun rose, it gave off an auspicious glow, making people want to see it. Jade Fairy, after shattering the huge rock with a single punch, Profound Emperor's face was cold, and he was so angry that his teeth itched. The little guy was careless when making friends, and he was betrayed by a woman. Shaking his head, Profound Emperor muttered to himself. A few days ago, he had to hide from the Btth sect's people, and while he was hiding, he had only recovered half of his injuries. Now, he had finally waited for them to stop searching. Initially, he thought that he would be able to get a chance to catch his breath, but what he got was the news that Xiao Yan had been caught. No, I have to save him even if I have to risk my life. Otherwise, I'm afraid that Heaven's surmounting monarch won't be able to explain it to me. Clenching his teeth, Profound Emperor took a deep breath and gazed into the distance. He could vaguely see a huge palace in the sky. It was a majestic atmosphere, incomparably vast. I'm the one who dragged you into this. Don't worry, even if you lose this clone, I won't let you die here. Profound Emperor muttered to himself. His face turned cold. According to the information he received, Xiao Yan was executed less than 2 days ago. During this period of time, he had to restore his original strength as much as possible. Zero time passed peacefully. During the past 3 days, Kui Yu and the other elders did not come again. This made Jade Fairy feel slightly relieved. She took advantage of the opportunity to visit Xiao Yan many times. Every time she went, Xiao Yan would maintain the same posture, as if he did not show any signs of waking up. It also made Jade Fairy, who was filled with joy every time, sigh slightly. Jade Fairy did not dare to stay for too long because she was worried that there would be people coming in the hall at any time. She softly instructed the Xiao Ao to leave after a few words. Dark waves surged within this quiet period of time. All the elite disciples of the Btth sect were sent out by various elders to train in different names. There was no longer an elite disciple within a 100-mile radius of the Holy Yin Hall. Even those disciples who were cultivating with the help of the richer dark attribute origin chis were awakened and sent out. Without anyone noticing, an inescapable net had been quietly set up around the Holy Yin Hall, waiting for the prey to fall into the trap. In the world of consciousness. In the world of consciousness, Xiao Yan's hair was disheveled and his entire body was covered in blood. If it wasn't for his abnormally strong will, he would have been defeated here a long time ago. Although he was in a sorry state, Xiao Yan's eyes were bright. When he raised his hands and feet, they all revealed an imposing manner as if he was the king of the world. In the past few days, he had consecutively suppressed the true bodies of the white tiger, the azure dragon, and the black tortoise. His control of the 3 techniques had reached a new height. The 4 spiritual emperor technique was a supreme technique to begin with. The aura he had condensed was naturally vast and majestic, with an air of arrogance that looked down upon the world. In the distance, the spirit of Heart Flame had a cold expression on its face, and its eyes were also piercing. Just now, Xiao Yan had completely defeated the true form of the Starlight Silent Step with a strike that could pierce through the heavens and the earth. Now, the true form of the Starlight Silent Step was unparalleled in terms of energy. What other moves do you have? Just use them. Xiao Yan strode forward. His eyes were filled with enthusiasm, and he allowed the golden blood to flow freely on his body. Yin. Yang. The spirit of Heart Flame was expressionless. It slowly raised one of its hands and clenched its 5 fingers tightly. It seemed to have grabbed onto a part of the sky. Boom! Suddenly, the killing force that filled the sky surged out from nowhere. Like a rainstorm, it instantly wrapped around Xiao Yan. It was like the purest attack in the world. There was not the slightest bit of gaudiness, and it was enough to wipe out everything. Ah! Being struck by the killing force, Xiao Yan's eyes almost split open. He threw his head back and roared in pain. An indescribable pain surged out from his entire body. Every single meridian in his body seemed to be about to burst open. The vigorous origin chi was about to break out of his body and completely shatter his body into pieces. This kind of attack came from an unknown place. It was impossible to resist. Not only did it torture one's mind, it also struck every single meridian in one's body. The pain of forcefully tearing apart one's meridians was something that even Xiao Yan, who was used to seeing great storms and waves, could not help but cry out in pain. Boom! Boom! The origin chi violently surged like boiling water. Just as it was about to burst through his meridians, Xiao Yan curled up on the ground in pain. It was as if his body was about to explode. This kind of pain pierced through his heart. In the distance, another Xiao Yan had an emotionless expression on his face. He raised one of his hands high up into the air, controlling the yin and yang energy in this world. He was about to kill Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan felt as if his whole body was being sliced by a knife. He felt as if his teeth were about to be crushed, and blood was gushing out of his mouth. He was starting to understand what was going on. This was probably the power of the yin and yang scroll. Compared to the 4-spirit sovereign technique, this kind of attack came and went without a trace. If he didn't master it, it would be impossible for him to defend against it. Just like that, it's over. The scene in front of his eyes gradually blurred and was about to fall into endless darkness. Xiao Yan fell to the ground, his entire body was already drenched in sweat and blood. Hearing the rumbling sounds in his ears, he used all his strength to mutter. He had already used up all of his strength. The heart flame burning, there was less than 90% of it left. In the end, he was still unable to cross this hurdle. He actually lost here. This is really a little funny. Xiao Yan forced a smile onto his face. His will gradually became depressed. He had the yin-yang fusion origin chi, and this trial was probably to deal with the yin-yang fusion origin chi. The spirit of heart flame stood in the void. Its eyes were exquisite. It watched Xiao Yan's figure gradually become blurry, when the latter completely disappeared from this space. This also meant that Xiao Yan's consciousness had completely collapsed. The consequences of this would be the death of his true body. The sky rumbled and rumbled. It was like the scene of doomsday. The spirit of heart flame raised his head and did not say anything. His eyebrows were slightly raised. In the outside world, the Xiaoao panicked when it saw the pained expression on Xiao Yan's face. However, there was nothing it could do. It could only watch helplessly as the expression on Xiao Yan's face changed drastically. Finally, he bled from all his orifices and fell into a deathly pale state. His aura also became as thin as a thread. What's going on? Why is my heart beating so fast? In the large hall, Jade Fairy sat opposite of Mrs. Huang, who had come to visit. Her heart suddenly became flustered for no reason, and it was not good to show it in front of Mrs. Huang. She could only force a smile to deal with the problem of the former pulling and pulling. In the large square in front of Holy Yin Hall, Kui Yu was tall and straight. His thin body contained a force that could not be underestimated. Behind him, 2 elders of Deacon sect stood with their heads held high. In front of the 3 of them, a young man in black kneeled on the ground with his head lowered. His hands were tied by the origin chi chains on his back. He was on the verge of dying and had no strength to resist. After noon, the clouds above Holy Yin Hall had dispersed. Kui Yu, who had his eyes closed all this time, suddenly opened his eyes. He looked at the sky with his sharp eyes. There, under the sunlight, a black figure flashed past and landed in front of them. The newcomer was as tall as a mountain, with a stern face and a pair of eyes that could capture one's heart. In the face of the pressure from the 3 elders of Deacon sect, he didn't show any signs of being moved. "You are all waiting for me, right?" Profound Emperor squinted his eyes and swept his gaze across the faces of Kui Yu and the other 2 elders. After that, he looked at the young man who was kneeling on the ground. Although the young man had lowered his head in a coma, he was undoubtedly Xiao Yan, judging from his body size and the weak qi fluctuations coming from his body. "It's really him." Although they were quite far away, Profound Emperor's pupils suddenly shrunk. Clearly, he had recognized that this young man was Xiao Yan. "There's no other way. How can I let you show yourself if I don't take out this little fellow?" Kui Yu casually smiled. He brushed the dust off his sleeves and said, "Many of the Deacon sect's grand elders are in seclusion. Any one of them will be able to find you. It's just a trivial matter. There was no need to trouble them. It just so happened that Xiao Yan bumped into Jade Fairy while he was dodging. He hoped that he would be able to obtain protection. Although the 2 of them had some friendship, however, after hearing that Xiao Yan had killed an elder of the Deacon sect, the Saintess knew the big picture. "Hand him over." After listening to the whole story, Profound Emperor sneered. He didn't know Jade Fairy, and naturally, he didn't know what kind of person she was. "Since you have lured me out, I'm afraid there must be an inescapable net set up here. Call them out. Otherwise, the 3 of you alone won't be able to stop me." "Don't worry, I don't know your name. You have been hiding in the Deacon sect for so many days. If you don't even know your name, it will be a joke if you spread it." Kui Yu smiled. His eyes that were staring at Profound Emperor gradually turned cold. "He is just a nobody. There is no need to mention him." Profound Emperor curled his lips. The origin qi in his body whistled. He was already prepared to make a move. "A nobody. All right, since that's the case, then kill him." As his voice changed, a stern killing intent was suddenly revealed. Kui Yu's expression was cold as he coldly shouted. In the next moment, several powerful qi exploded in the surroundings, completely surrounding the square. At the same time, Profound Emperor's figure flashed and rushed towards Xiao Yan, who was kneeling on the ground. The origin qi in his palm had already buzzed, and his killing move followed closely behind. One around the Holy Yin Hall, origin qis were soaring into the sky. Numerous figures were standing in the void. Their powerful auras were pressing against the clouds, as if they were the pillars of the origin qi that could pierce through the heavens and earth, causing the clouds in the sky to scatter and shake the surroundings. Profound Emperor's eyes were filled with a cold light. He raised his palm high, and the vast origin qi soared into the sky. It stopped in the void, and then it fell down like a rainstorm. Numerous origin qis slashed down from the void, and it contained an endless amount of power. In an instant, it enveloped all the elders of the Deacon sect in the surroundings. This was the secret technique recorded in the Yin-Yang Profound Art, Yin-Yang Art, Myriad Streams. In front of them, Kui Yu was as motionless as a mountain. He looked at Profound Emperor, who was rushing towards him, and narrowed his eyes. The 2 elders standing behind him had already rushed out with a loud bang, blocking the young man who was kneeling on the ground behind him. As the 2 men's 4 palms were sent flying, thousands of palm prints were instantly formed. The palm prints that were condensed in the air contained a biting cold yin qi. A majestic aura surged towards Profound Emperor. Profound Emperor's expression darkened, and he suddenly stopped in his tracks. The yin-yang origin qi in his body rose like a storm, and a crescent moon appeared behind him. The crescent moon floated in the middle of Yu Yi, and it fell onto the vast land. It was like a cold frost that brought with it an endless coldness. It was like day, and the moonlight couldn't touch it. Another scene, dark black to the bone. It made people's minds tremble. The day and night were separated. It was like yin and yang were incompatible, but they could not separate from each other. Without day, one could not see the coldness of the night clearly. There was no night, and one could not distinguish the burning eyes of the day. Swoosh! The waning moon broke through the silent night sky, and it was like a silver jade plate crushing down onto him. Endless silver radiance shot out in all directions, as if the radiance that scattered down on the great earth shocked countless spatial ripples, instantly devouring the palm imprints that surged over in front of them. It carried an unmatched might, like a furious dragon going out to sea. Under the 2 people's horrified expressions, it rumbled over. Although the two men in front of them were both monarch cultivation sovereign, they were not on the same level as Chang Yi. Furthermore, without the help of the people from the Heavenly Gone sect, the threat would naturally be greatly reduced. This was also the main reason why he had decided to reveal himself. Kui Yu's expression didn't change at all in the face of Profound Emperor's astonishing combat strength. He didn't have any intention of attacking. He raised his head and looked at the numerous origin chis that were falling from the sky. The pressure contained within these deacon sects was terrifying and cruel. Many elders of deacon sect had no choice but to use these profound emperors to defend themselves. For a moment, they were unable to attack Profound Emperor. This feeling is similar to the Yin and Yang scroll. Kui Yu raised his eyebrows and muttered to himself. Although the real Yin and Yang scroll was buried in the dust of history, Sacred Lord Yin Yang had actually witnessed it before. From there, the Yin scroll and the Yang scroll were imprinted. As one of the elders with high authority in the Deacon sect, Kui Yu naturally knew about the numerous secret arts on the Yang scroll. He had also witnessed the combined power of the Yin scroll and the Yang scroll. However, the aura of the secret technique that Profound Emperor used was very familiar to him. It feels like the combination of the secret arts and Yin scroll. It can't be wrong. In just an instant, Kui Yu had determined that this was the case. His eyes suddenly shrunk to the size of a pinhole. In an instant, countless thoughts appeared in his mind. Some of the doubts from before had also been resolved at this moment. No wonder he was able to trick the guarding disciples into entering the Deacon sect. It turns out that there is a Yin attribute origin chi within his body. Moreover, it is likely that he possesses a Yang attribute origin chi when he is able to use such a secret technique. Yin-Yang origin chi. No wonder he was able to trick the guarding disciples into entering the Deacon sect. It turns out that his body contains a Yin attribute origin chi. No wonder, when he thought of this, Kui Yu's expression became unnatural. A trace of shock surged into his brows. Both of his eyes focused as he looked at the battle in front of him. In just a few breaths' time, the two elders of the Deacon sect were forced to retreat. Not only were their strength not as strong as Profound Emperor's, they were also forced to retreat. The dark attribute Kui Yu's that they were proud of were completely suppressed. Taking advantage of this short period of time, Profound Emperor had already taken large strides forward. He was only a short distance away from the young man who was kneeling on the ground. Bang! Kui Yu finally made his move. His sleeve cracked. A vast and mighty aura was unleashed as he made his move. Numerous flowing slashes were slashed out. It was as if the origin chi within a 100-mile radius had been agglomerated into a single line. The endless wave-like attacks instantly scattered Profound Emperor's continuous attacks. With Kui Yu's momentary delay, all the elders of the Deacon sect had also escaped. All of them were glaring at him angrily, and were about to attack him. "All of you, stop for now," Kui Yu shouted. His expression was cold and stern, causing everyone to be stunned. However, no one questioned him. Immediately, they spread out and surrounded Profound Emperor, sealing off all paths of retreat. After witnessing Kui Yu's strength, Profound Emperor didn't choose to rush forward. He glanced at Xiao Yan, who was blocked by Kui Yu, and his expression calmed down. He looked at Kui Yu without saying a word. "Your origin chi is very special." As the murderous aura filled the air, Kui Yu spoke in a cold voice. He didn't say anything. Profound Emperor raised his eyebrows and didn't say anything. "It's the first time that I've seen such an ability, to be able to absorb a Yin origin chi and a Yang origin chi into one." After a pause, Kui Yu's gaze became extremely sharp. "Let me ask you, did you obtain the inheritance of a sacred lord?" As soon as these words left his mouth, all the elders were shocked. All of them turned to look at Profound Emperor. Although Sacred Lord Yin Yang had established the Yin Yang sect, this great god had traveled all over the various domains, and no one knew if he had left anything good behind somewhere else. There are many ancient experts called Sacred Lords. Are you talking about that Sacred Lord? Profound Emperor's expression remained unchanged. The corner of his mouth raised slightly as he mocked. "How dare you? From ancient times until now, apart from Sacred Lord Yin Yang, who else dared to call themselves Sacred Lords?" Behind Kui Yu, an elder who was in a sorry state after being attacked by Profound Emperor furiously shouted. "Why isn't there any? Let me tell you, there's also Sacred Lord Northern Ocean, Sacred Lord Blood River, and Sacred Lord Kang Ling. Enough. If you continue to blabber on, don't blame me for killing you. Before he could finish speaking, Kui Yu had already spoken in a cold voice. Obviously, he didn't want to continue this topic. Profound Emperor chuckled and looked at the elder who had spoken earlier. The elder shrugged his shoulders and gritted his teeth. However, he had nothing to refute. These people had indeed been recorded as sacred lords in the ancient books. And they were all in the era before Sacred Lord Yin Yang, but with the rise of Sacred Lord Yin Yang. The title of Sacred Lord Yin Yang had become the title of Sacred Lord Yin Yang. Profound Emperor's words were completely unreasonable. Sacred Lord Yin Yang has traveled across many regions and has left behind many inheritances. This move of yours is extremely similar to the Yin Yang secret arts from tens of thousands of years ago before the Yin Yang sect collapsed. Since you're unwilling to say it, then I'll let you speak. At the end of his words, Kui Yu's tone was cold and indifferent. In the next moment, he charged forward and attacked in person. A figure stood in a bright red world with his head held high. He sensed the unusual strength within his body. A complicated expression was actually present between his brows. It was a long time later before he let out a long sigh. He was able to sense that within the origin chi within his body, which contained the combination of yin and yang, the yin attribute origin chi within it was even purer and denser. It also caused him to have a better control over the monarch flame. It also had countless benefits to other aspects. However, these yin attribute origin chis. He had also sensed from a person that it was Jade Fairy. When he was on the brink of death, this origin chi suddenly appeared like a life-saving straw and merged into his body, treating all of his injuries. Just like back in Black Sand Castle, Jade Fairy had used her yin origin chi to treat his injuries. Why did Jade Fairy's yin attribute origin chi appear in his body? The current Xiao Yan could even think of it with his heels. It's time to go out and see her. After standing there for a long time, Xiao Yan lowered his eyes and took a step forward. His body disappeared and the crimson world shattered with a loud bang. 0 inches, Mrs. Huang, you didn't come here just to chat with you. In the hall, the fragrance of tea permeated the air. After listening to Mrs. Huang's meaningless nonsense for a long time, Jade Fairy finally could not hold her anger any longer. Her brows lightly wrinkled as she spoke with some displeasure. You are thinking too much. I just want to reminisce about old times with you, but I have no other intentions. Mrs. Huang lifted up the teacup on the table and took a sip. Following which, the teacup covered her eyes and a trace of confusion flashed across her eyes. Then, why did it start from before? Why is it that the dark attribute origin chis around Holy Yin Hall are in disorder? Jade Fairy's expression turned cold as she spoke with an expressionless face. Since she was able to become the saintess of Deacon sect, her ability to sense the yin attribute origin chis naturally far exceeded that of an ordinary person. Even though Holy Yin Hall was very far away from this place, she was able to clearly sense a trace of disorder in the aura. Oh, Elder Kui Yu has been hunting for intruders these past few days. It is very normal for him to be affected by a few origin chis. Mrs. Huang's hand that was holding the teacup shook slightly. The tea rippled slightly and then returned to normal. There was a warm smile on her face. I'm afraid not. Mrs. Huang, why did you come here to chat with me? What exactly is it for? Jade Fairy's phoenix eyes opened wide and she could not help but scold. If Mrs. Huang did not come, she would have put all her attention on Xiao Yan and would not care about what happened outside. Now that Mrs. Huang wanted to cover it up, it made her feel puzzled. Jade Fairy, you are the saintess of Deacon sect. Is this the attitude you have when you speak to your elders? Mrs. Huang's face turned cold. She heavily placed the teacup on the table and said with a cold snort. You also know that I am the saintess. This yin attribute origin chi is very different from the origin chi that Deacon sect cultivates from top to bottom. Do you think I can't feel it? Jade Fairy raised her eyebrows. She could not help but stand up with an overbearing aura. What she did not say was that the reason why she was able to keenly sense the difference in this origin chi was because she had deeply experienced the abnormality of this origin chi in Xiao Yan's body. Compared to the pure yin attribute origin chi of the Deacon sect, the former was even more majestic and vigorous. This kind of thing is not up to you to interfere. Mrs. Huang's face twitched slightly when she heard this. Her voice immediately became cold. I am too lazy to interfere. Now, I'm a little tired. Please leave. Jade Fairy turned around and left after saying that. She did not know why, but her heart was beating fast, as if she had a bad premonition. Impudent. Jade Fairy, Elder Kui Yu has already said that you are the one who protected the thief, Xiao Yan. You said that you wouldn't hand over anything, right? You slut, how could you be so obsessed? I shouldn't have taught you that back then. Mrs. Huang clenched her silver teeth and got up to berate him. Her silver hair fluttered in the wind, and her anger soared to the sky. Wang! Jade Fairy's mind buzzed, and Mrs. Huang's words were like a sharp blade that instantly pierced her heart. An indescribable pain surged out from her heart and instantly spread throughout her entire body. Jade Fairy's red lips slightly parted and her eyes were red. Tears flowed uncontrollably in her eyes. Even though she held a grudge against the Deacon sect, she still felt grateful towards Mrs. Huang who had taught her for so many years. Even if there was some anger, it was only temporary. And now, Mrs. Huang's words were like a knife cutting through her heart. I don't mind telling you this. Elder Kui Yu is currently capturing another intruder. Kill him and it will be Xiao Yan. No matter where he hides, there is no place for him in the entire Mingan divine domain. Jade Fairy, if you protect him, the sect chief will not let you off lightly. Mrs. Huang's voice was stern and her expression became even more excited. Boom! Before she finished speaking, the entire hall suddenly shook. In the next moment, an enormous force swept over. A terrifying aura spread across the entire hall, while a cold voice resounded. It was like a thunderclap that surged beside Mrs. Huang's ear. There is no place for me? The Deacon sect is so mighty. Before she finished her words, a black shadow flashed by like a lightning. It was so fast that Mrs. Huang, who had been in the monarch cultivation for many years, did not notice it at all. She only felt a pain on her shoulder and fell down instantly without any ability to resist. Xiao Yan. Jade Fairy was slightly startled when she heard this familiar voice. She turned around and looked at the figure that was slowly appearing in front of her with misty eyes. The fist that was thrown out was slowly retracted. Xiao Yan did not even look at Mrs. Huang who was lying on the ground. He looked at Jade Fairy with a complicated expression and pursed his lips. He and Jade Fairy looked at each other but neither of them said anything. Your injuries are healed? It is really good. After a while, Jade Fairy was the first to break the deadlock. A gratified smile appeared on her pretty face. Then, she hurriedly stretched out her hand and was about to wipe away the tears at the corner of her eyes. Tap! Before she could raise her hand, Xiao Yan suddenly took big steps forward and hugged her tightly. He did not say a word. What are you doing? Jade Fairy was shocked, and then her face turned red. She instinctively struggled and wanted to break free from Xiao Yan's embrace. Xiao Yan said softly. His words caused Jade Fairy's body to tremble. Her arms, which were struggling with all her might, fell down. Her heart couldn't help but pound violently. I know everything you have done for me. Thank you. You are my woman. In the future, I won't let you suffer any more grievances. Xiao Yan held Jade Fairy's shoulder and looked at the latter's charming face. His eyes were filled with tears, causing him to feel pity in his heart. He muttered to himself and reached out his hand to gently wipe away Jade Fairy's tears. In the world of consciousness, the spirit of heart flames, yin and yang, had basically crushed her with a crushing force. When his body disappeared, the purest yin-type origin qi in Jade Fairy's body rescued him. It caused its control over the yin-yang origin qi to reach a more refined level. After which, it used a violent storm. After shattering the spirit of heart flame in one go, he had truly defeated the little me of the past. He had become the new, big self of the present. Xiao Yan was naturally well aware of the appearance of this yin attribute origin qi. Coupled with the refinement of the Thousand Leaves ancient monarch fire in his body, all of this was a clear indication of Jade Fairy's actions. You have saved me. From now on, Xiao Yan's life will be yours. Jade Fairy whispered to herself in her ear. Xiao Yan's tone was incomparably firm. Jade Fairy had sacrificed everything to save her. What reason did he have to not protect this girl in front of him? I heard from Xiao Ao that you have a wife and children. I did this to repay the kindness of saving you during the Battle of the Saints. Jade Fairy smiled bitterly and pushed Xiao Yan's chest away. She shook her head lightly and there was a trace of disappointment in her eyes. Follow me and leave this place, All right? Xiao Yan pursed his lips and spoke again with a heavy tone. You can leave now. Go and save your friend and leave this place. With your strength, it won't be difficult for you to escape. Don't ever come to Deacon Sect again. The strength of the sect is beyond your imagination. Many of the old ancestors have gone into seclusion. Otherwise, you won't be able to leave this place. Jade Fairy retreated and shook her head with a forced smile. I have the strength to bring you out of this place. Xiao Yan clenched his fist tightly and said urgently. You have indeed improved a lot by defeating your teacher, but it is still not enough. I am the Saintess of Deacon Sect. If I leave with you, I will definitely cause endless fury in Deacon Sect. Jade Fairy smiled bitterly and said softly, Xiao Yan, listen to me, let's leave this place. Xiao Yan clenched his teeth and looked at Jade Fairy's determined look. His whole body seemed to be trembling and he could not say a word. Compared to leaving in such a sorry state, Xiao Yan, I want you to bring me back to the Deacon Sect in a grand manner the next time you come here. A blush flashed across Jade Fairy's pretty face as she spoke, which calmed Xiao Yan down a lot. I will. You are my woman. The next time I come, I will make the entire Mingan Divine Domain celebrate for you. Xiao Yan took a long breath and took a deep look at Jade Fairy. His eyes were filled with determination. He then turned around and left with big steps. I look forward to that day. Xiao Yan disappeared from his sight. Jade Fairy smiled in relief. 2 lines of clear tears silently fell. Her red lips parted as she muttered to herself. 0A towering tower stood in the center of the Deacon Sect. It was filled with clouds and mist, and it contained the endless history of the Deacon Sect. Today, it had attracted the attention of countless people. What happened in Holy Yin Hall? This origin chi is shocking. Many elite disciples were sent out by their respective masters for various reasons. They were not allowed to intrude into the surroundings of the Holy Yin Hall. Currently, they were standing on a mountain peak that was extremely far away from the Holy Yin Hall. They were staring at the direction of the Holy Yin Hall with their mouths agape, and their words were filled with amazement. It seems like an elder is cultivating a divine skill. This origin chi's density is not inferior to that of master. A young man with a cold expression spoke in a deep voice. His eyes were cold, and he was wearing a silver-white robe. He stood in front of everyone, and his status was extremely prominent. Senior Brother Gu, do you mean that there are elders in the sect who have achieved success in their cultivation? Elder Kui and the others are protecting him? A slightly plump young man spoke in a leisurely manner. His eyes were shining with a brilliant purple light as he gazed at the Holy Yin Hall. There was a trace of doubt in his tone. Ji Yuang narrowed his eyes. He was quite displeased with the former's doubt. As the only disciple of Kui Yu, he had already grasped 5 of the 9 secrets of the Yin Scroll. Regardless of strength or identity, he was the top amongst all the elite disciples. Now, the number of disciples who posed a threat to him had gradually increased. The young man who spoke just now was one of them. In terms of familiarity with the Yin Scroll's secret arts, I think I'm better than Junior Brother Meng. This origin chi is very similar to the Yin Scroll's secret arts. In fact, it's even more vast. If it wasn't for the fact that the elder of Deacon Sect has mastered the skill, would there be any other possibility? Ji Yuang's expression was solemn, and he placed his hands behind his back, giving off the air of a leader. This was also one of the reasons why Kui Yu had taken him in as a disciple. He had the ability, talent, and the aura of a leader. In the future, he would definitely become an elder of the Deacon Sect, and could even take his place. Senior disciple Ji Yu is the only one who can be outstanding. We are ashamed to be inferior to him. The man surnamed Meng smiled casually, and didn't seem to be in a dilemma about this matter. Ji Yuang was known as the #1 elite disciple of the Deacon Sect. However, the narrowness that he displayed by chance made him not want to offend the latter because of this. A trace of coldness flashed across Ji Yuang's eyes, but he didn't say anything else. He was proud and arrogant because of his strength. Then, his eyes moved, and he gazed into the distance of the Holy Yin Hall. An unfathomable smile emerged on his face. When he became the youngest elder of the Deacon Sect, he would have enough strength to obtain the woman that shocked him. This is the Deacon Sect. No matter if you are a dragon or a tiger, you have to obediently stay in this place with your legs crossed. Kui Yu's expression was cold as he slowly stepped forward. There was a trace of blood at the corner of Profound Emperor's mouth, and his chi was extremely weak. The killing move that Profound Emperor was so proud of couldn't even withstand a single blow from Kui Yu. He didn't even need the help of the other elders to ensure that he had no chance of winning. I'm afraid that this old thing is one of the strongest amongst heavenly sovereign warriors. It will be very difficult to defeat him. Profound Emperor was breathing heavily. The origin chi in his body seemed to be lacking. The only thing he had the upper hand right now was the combination of yin and yang, but the gap between heavenly sovereign and monarch cultivation was just too huge. Furthermore, the other clone had also split up nearly half of his strength. When he was in Capital of Chaos, the three of them had joined forces to defeat the mercenary alliance's Ni Xuankang, so they wouldn't be in such a sorry state. The Deacon sect had a strong foundation, so they couldn't be underestimated. You have that strange ability. If you want to escape, I won't be able to stop you. However, this kid is going to die for sure. Seeing that Profound Emperor didn't speak, Kui Yu raised his eyebrows and pointed at the young man who was kneeling on the ground behind him. The young man had already fainted. He was curled up on the ground, looking extremely miserable. Profound Emperor's expression turned cold. He gritted his teeth and smiled bitterly in his heart. Profound Emperor, who was called a legend in Capital of Chaos, was actually in such a sorry state in this place. How about this? Hand over the inheritance of the Sacred Lord. I promise you that I will let bygones be bygones. You can take this kid away too. Kui Yu let out a cold laugh and spoke all of a sudden. Compared to Chang Yi's death, he was more interested in the inheritance of the Divine Lord of Yin Yang. Even the sect chief would choose this. It's better not to lie to a 3-year-old. Profound Emperor spat out a mouthful of blood. His smile was full of ridicule. If he really handed it over, he was afraid that he would die today. While thinking, his eyes swept across the surroundings. Including the 2 people behind Kui Yu, there were a total of 8 monarch cultivation sovereigns standing with their hands behind their backs, completely sealing off his path of retreat. Trying to escape with Xiao Yan was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Stubborn fool. You don't know the difference between life and death. Hearing this, Kui Yu shook his head lightly, but he did not dare to press on. If the latter made up his mind, regardless of whether this young man called Xiao Yan left or not, he could do nothing about it. For the sake of today's plan, if he wanted to completely capture him, he had to give him a chance to make up his mind to bet everything on this. This way, he would have a chance to capture him. You guys, go and search for his clone. If he fights here, there will definitely be some chi fluctuations coming from that clone. Thinking of this, Kui Yu immediately spoke. Apart from the 2 elders behind him, the rest of them were clueless about what was going on, but they still followed his orders. If Kui Yu attacked them personally, they wouldn't have the chance to attack. There are only 3 left. Profound Emperor remained calm and collected, but he was delighted in his heart. After that, he felt slightly bitter. The departure of the rest of the people didn't matter to him. Just Kui Yu alone was enough to make him feel powerless. However, this is also an opportunity. Profound Emperor made up his mind. He did not have time to think about Kui Yu's thoughts. With a solemn expression, his speed suddenly increased. The origin chi in all 4 directions surged and turned into a sharp blade that struck the latter's chest. Great! Seeing Profound Emperor rushing towards him once again, a trace of a smile flashed across Kui Yu's eyes. He straightened his body and struck out with his palm, causing the wind and clouds in the sky to howl like a furious dragon. Chi rolled up the blue sky, causing the space to explode. Buzz! Profound Emperor's eyes turned cold. He faced the chi and rushed forward. Suddenly, his body twisted in a strange manner and dodged Kui Yu's attack. He appeared behind Kui Yu and clenched his left hand. He was about to grab the young man who was kneeling on the ground. It's done. He saw that Profound Emperor had put all his attention behind his back to prevent his attack. Kui Yu purposely slowed down his movement and sneered at the young man who was kneeling in front of him. He put both of his fingers together and a thread of green light surged up from his fingertips. The space around his fingertips shattered. Xiao Yan, let's go. Profound Emperor forcefully swallowed the blood that surged up his throat. He let out a fierce roar, and his large hand had already touched the shoulder of the young man in front of him. Hong! Suddenly, the origin chi chains on the back of the young man who had knelt down on the ground shattered with a loud bang. His 5 fingers stretched out like lightning, and were about to lock onto Profound Emperor's wrist. Profound Emperor was startled. It was already too late for him to retract his palm. In a split second, he clenched his teeth tightly. The moment the young man's 5 fingers locked onto his wrist, his palm had already turned into bits of origin chi and broke from his wrist. After grabbing empty air, the young man raised his head with a gloomy expression. As the bones on his face twisted, what appeared in front of everyone was a middle-aged man with a face full of vicissitudes of life. On the left side of his face, there was even a scar. What a pity. In the nick of time, Profound Emperor had escaped. The young man stood up and shook his head regretfully. Behind him, Kui Yu also frowned and the green light on his fingertip disappeared. Profound Emperor's eyes were cold. His left palm was broken from his wrist. Blood was flowing out. The suffocating pain made his heart tremble. It is indeed a pity, but there is also an unexpected gain. Kui Yu smiled and looked at Profound Emperor's broken arm. The latter's chi was weak. It was estimated that he had suffered a serious injury. Elder Kui is right. The middle-aged man with a scar on his face sneered. His body moved, and a huge palm broke through the air. The surrounding origin chis were sent flying, and he was about to capture Profound Emperor. Damn it! Knowing that he had been schemed against, Profound Emperor was extremely furious. However, he did not have the strength to entangle himself with these people anymore. He held his breath and focused his mind. His body turned into yin and yang and was about to leave, but he was so angry that he could not calm his heart down. It's too late. The middle-aged man let out a few low roars. He took large strides forward, and his attacks became even more ferocious. Heaven and earth howled, and as he attacked, all things withered away, and the clouds scattered. Boom! Suddenly, the heaven and earth origin chi suddenly scattered. That large origin chi hand also shattered with a loud bang. As the origin chi wrapped around it, a figure swept past like a star. In the next moment, the middle-aged man did not even have the time to let out a miserable cry before he quietly fell.